the beginning of the decade that it would be the sport of the 70s. Well, that point is arguable today, but there were significant developments. In 77, Janet Guthrie became the first woman to drive at Indy. And in the same year...
So Gordon Johncock is moving toward what could be his second victory in the Indianapolis 500.
He's through the glass.
What happened?
Smoke. Gordon Johncock, the leader of the Indy 500, is running down the side of pit lane now. Still on the racetrack. He's got a big problem.
We've seen this sort of thing so many times in Indianapolis. Just when it looked like it was all wrapped up, there he is off the track. It's all over for Gordon Johncock. A.J. Foyt leads the Indianapolis 500.
And so the door was open for A.J. Foyt to accomplish what none had done before, to win his fourth Indianapolis 500.
Stand by for the checkered flag. The black and white checkered flag, and in the pits, the red and white checkered shirts of the Gilmore Foyt team. It's all over. A.J. has done it. He has won his fourth Indianapolis 500.
Al Unser had won back-to-back Indies in 1970 and 71. Well, in 1978, he joined the elite society of those who have won the big race 3 times. His brother Bobby has won it twice. At decade's end, IndyCar racing is divided and endangered. 2 groups, USAC and CART, are battling for control of the sport. There was a terrible moment at the start of the 500-mile race in 1973. The mood had been somber when Art Pollard died in practice, and when Pat Vadan gave them the green.
And here they come. Bobby Unser going for the lead. Johnny Rutherford right alongside him. Rutherford down low, but Bobby, there's a terrible crash on the home stretch. There are several cars involved. We can't see the numbers, but it's been a bad crash on the start. It was in the middle of the field somewhere. Terrible thing. Explosion. This is what everyone has feared. This is why there's been such a terrible atmosphere of fear here all weekend long. It's a shame there's the driver waving. He might be on fire, that man, the way he was waving. You can't see an alcohol fire. Those explosions are not cars. Those are the bombs overhead that are normally set off during the start of the race.
David Saltwalter, chief victim of the crash, lived to race on many other days, but it took 3 days to complete that 1973 race because of weather, and on the last day, Swede Savage crashed and later died. Jackie Stewart of Scotland has been a member of our ABC sports commentary team for some years now, but earlier in the decade, he was a racing marvel, the idol of Monte Carlo, winner of 3 world championships and 27 Grand Prix races, more than any other driver. Later in the decade, Mario Andretti became the first American since Phil Hill to win the world title. Drag racing provided a moment of terror, but with a happy ending at the Winter National Drags of 1970.
Nichols off first.
Oh, my God. Let's go down.
Not knowing that Nichols was only slightly injured, Prudhomme, a tough racing man, was emotionally drained by the experience.
I think I'm quit. Oh my God, I seen that car go by me. I couldn't believe it. There was no back section on it or nothing.
Later, Don changed his mind and continued his successful career. Don Garlick's Big Daddy, they called him, was the king of the dragsters, winning more than $4 million over 4 decades. Shirley Muldowney was called Cha-Cha, wore that name on her racing helmet, in fact. But later, after she had won $400,000 in a single season and a national racing championship in 1977, she decided to drop the nickname. She was a novelty in the sport no longer, making her point very strongly, like many other women of the 70s. There were crashes, of course, plenty of them. This was the miracle roll of Maynard Troyer at Daytona in 1971. By actual count, he rolled over 18 times in this episode between turns 3 and 4 on the big tri-oval and emerged with only a sprained wrist. Maynard Troyer. While many of us were at the Winter Olympics in 1976, Bill Fleming and Jackie Stewart reported on one of racing's most remarkable finishes in the Daytona 500. Richard Petty and David Pearson were battling it out on the last lap, a familiar scene.
Look at David Pearson. He has moved closer. Can he do it?
He's going to pull out now. He's going to try for the top.
I don't know. He's down on the inside. He's even. He's got the lead, but there's a car ahead of them. There's a slower car ahead of them. And Richard Petty and Pearson go high. Pearson now has the lead. Petty tries to go back down on the inside. As they come out of the fourth turn, they only have about 750 yards to go. Oh! It's a straightaway. They did hit. Petty smashes into the wall. Will he come across the start-finish line? He's going to win the race. He's going to win it spinning. As he, I believe, will take the checkered flag. No, he did not make it. He is less than 100 yards from it. Here comes Pearson. Pearson is going to try to make it across the finish line. Petty has his car going. Pearson's going to win it. Oh, gosh, Randall, he wins the race.
What a finish for the Boston. I've never seen anything like that.
It's unbelievable.
A battered Richard Petty finished